Hello and welcome to round 4 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships presented by Motul. Following on from a scintillating weekend back in April at Queensland Raceway, we are once again in the Sunshine State, this time at Morgan Park Raceway, one of the tighter and more technical circuits on the 2024 calendar. At just under 3 kilometres in length, Morgan Park is well known for its iconic Turn 3, but multiple elevation changes, blind corner entries, a short straight and 12 tightly packed corners means this is one of the most physically demanding circuits to try and wrestle a superbike. Last time out at Queensland Raceway, it was Yamaha Racing Team's Mike Jones that took the double, his first wins of the 2024 season. We all know him as Mad Mike, but at home in Queensland, it was Magnificent Mike who took 2 decisive victories ahead of Troy Herfoss and Max Stauffer, who is now on a 3-race podium streak. Championship points heading into this weekend sees McMartin racing with Hi-Tec's Josh Waters leading the championship by 29.5 points ahead of the Yamaha Racing Team duo of Cru Halliday and Mike Jones, who are only separated by 3 points, with young guns Broc Pearson and Max Stauffer separated by half a point in 4th and 5th. In qualifying, it was the charge of the Youth Brigade, with Desmo Sport Ducati's Broc Pearson taking his second ever Superbike pole position. Penrite Racing's Max Stauffer backed up his front row from Queensland Raceway, claiming second, and hometown hero Mike Jones will round out the front row of the grid. Morgan Park gets underway with a short dash to AWMF corner turn 1, straight into turn 2, then we go up the hill through the iconic blind entry of turn 3 and then down the hill into Motul corner turn 4. Around the back of the circuit now to Pirelli corner turn 5, Honda turn 6, then the very important Yamaha Regihart turn 7 as we start the drive down the bumpy, very narrow area of the circuit to come to turn 9, and then at the bottom of the hill, Michelin corner turn 10, the final chicane, which then starts to run to the finish line. 2 people that know more about this circuit than most of the people racing here this weekend, Steve Martin and Chris Vermeulen, had a look.
Well, Chris, here we are, Morgan Park, round 4 of the championship in Warwick. And this track, it's tight, it's twisty, 3Ks long, it's action-packed. There's a lot of elevation changes, and I know that it's a track that really excites you.
Oh, it excites me for a lot of reasons, what you said, but these elevation gains, these blind corners. Look at this one, for example, turn 3. It's a concrete wall on the inside. It's very tight coming out of turn 2. They accelerate hard, uphill, blind, Steve, and it crests around the top of the hill. The bikes are on the edge, they're moving, they're accelerating hard out of here. It's an important place because there's a great overtaking opportunity going down into turn 4. So this is a really crucial part of this circuit.
It's a spectacle too, because you see the guys' helmets basically scraping this wall too.
Very cool, isn't it?
It's tight and twisty through Motul, Pirelli, all the way up to the sweeper. How did I know that you were going to stop at this place, Chris?
Well, it's such a crucial part of the circuit. Like you said, it is tight and twisty over that other bit. A lot of change of direction, a lot of time in second gear. But by the time they get down here, they're flying over 200 kilometres an hour on the entry, 4th gear, and you're on the edge of the tyre for a long time, pushing the front end downhill through here. It is really, really important. And the corner seems to go on and on and on forever. So really, really important for the guys to get this right, because you're getting close to the end of the lap, and that could dictate how this race is going to unfold.
And let's not forget, Chris, there's been some absolute ripper overtaking manoeuvres here as well.
Oh, absolutely.
The final sector, Chris, seems pretty simple. A flip-flop through the Ducati chicane and then a run to the finish line. But it's far from simple.
Exactly, Steve. Looks simple, but it's a great place to watch these bikes, and these guys manhandle these things. They try and get drive out of here as early as they can. You hear the traction controls on the bike cutting in and out, and as they pick it up, it's uphill. It's quite a climb out of here. The bike wants to wheelie, and it's quite aggressive. The front will wobble a lot before they get to the finish line. So it is a really important part of the racetrack to get right.
It certainly is, and it's the most important 100 metres of the track, and that is the run to the finish line. Any final tips for our riders to get a good lap time around this track, Chris?
Well, I think we've said it's tight and twisty. I think what's really important is don't overdo the braking. Sacrifice that a little bit to get on the throttle earlier, and I think that's going to make a fast lap time around here.
Smooth, smooth, smooth. That is your Ducati track preview.
down to Chris now for an update before racing gets underway.
And I'm here with the pole man, like you said, the youth, the future, Broc Pearson. Fantastic job yesterday.
Yeah, no, it was really cool to get pole yesterday. I had quite a difficult round at QR and then didn't have the best lead up to this event. So, yeah, to get that yesterday was really cool and, yeah, put me in a good headspace for today.
I really liked, I spoke to you yesterday after pole. You said the way you went about it, you did your own job, got out there, done your lap early. Like, that's smart. That's just learning from, you know, previous mistakes. That's an older head on young shoulders. Well done.
Yeah, no, I just said to the boys, like, I was just a little bit concerned about mid-session just chucking in a new rear tyre and we don't get many goes at it. And with the weather, I was a little bit concerned about the front tyre dropping. So I just committed to get it done early and put a banker lap in and, you know, hopefully that was enough. And anyways, it was a pretty full-on session, but it was enough. So I'm glad that we backed ourselves.
And the bike must be pretty good, right? You're fastest in warm-up again, so you really look like you're a strong competitor. Do you have a package that's going to deliver for the whole race?
Yeah, I think so. I did a race run on Friday, not completely race run, but just over 10 laps. And it's pretty full on around this track. And I don't remember the last time I even did 10 laps at once before going into a race. It's just something I don't usually enjoy. But I feel like we've got a much better race bike than we did on Friday again. So, yeah, I think I'm really prepared.
And you're injured as well, right? There was a test here recently. You had a big crash. Is it ribs or vertebrae? You're a bit damaged, right?
Yeah, I did some damage to my ribs and then one of my vertebrae and back around my shoulder blade. So I'm pretty stiff in this cold weather. But, and yeah, like not an easy track to get around it. But that was about a month ago and I'm starting to come good. So, yeah, I actually didn't feel that great on Friday. And then, yes, I felt a bit better. And then in morning warm-up this morning, I felt pretty good. So hopefully the body's getting adjusted and, yeah, can go good for the races.
And the weather today, Broc, a little bit better than we've had the last few days. Does that change your outlook for tyres, for bike setup? Where are you? You sorted or are you still guessing?
No, we sorted. Yeah, we sort of had a plan from Friday in regards to what we were going to run, and we just sort of been trimming around the edges just to try and make it as good as we can. And yeah, that warm-up session, we did the race tyre in warm-up, and I went pretty fast, and the conditions are only going to get better for the two races. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with where we're at.
That's great to see. Good luck for the races.
Thank you.
So getting ready to start this first Alpine Stars Superbike round, a race at round 4 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships presented by Motul. Mike Jones's 90th race start in the Australian Superbike category, and he will start on the front row of the grid with the next generation of racers. Broc Pearson on pole position in his 35th race start, and Max Stauffer in second position in his 40th race start in the Australian Superbike Championship. Back on the second row of the grid, we have Josh Waters, Cru Halliday and Glenn Allerton, and on the third row, the fast starting after CC's Ant West and Brian Starring.
Cam Dunker, work to do, but we know he's fast. John Litteris has been quick this weekend, as has Ty Lynch. Ryan Yanko, Paris Hardwick and Josh Sutherland on row 5, and row 6, Michael Edwards, Michael Kemp and Paul Lingenbach.
Yeah, just amazing having a look up back there through the field. Michael Edwards on Friday afternoon when we were watching on the side of the track. He's the same age as us, Steve. He's out there racing in the Australian Superbike Championship. We all commented on how smooth Michael Edwards is. And this is his home circuit. He knows his way around here well and truly. So he'll be looking to put on a good performance.
And he's still scraping his elbow on the ground.
Yeah, a photo of him scraping his elbow is certainly putting on a lot of pace as Broc Pearson brings the Desmo Sport Ducati up into pole position. So Pearson starting from pole position, Max Stauffer in second, and Mike Jones, the master of Morgan Park in years gone by, will start out of position number 3. Alpine Stars Superbike race 1, ready to go. Superbikes are go. Great start from the front row of the grid, exactly what Pearson wanted, but also a good start from Max Stauffer as well. Josh Waters has also got the McMartin Racing with Hi-Tec machine away well, and Arthur CC's has been shoveled off the track on the outside of turn 1 and will rejoin in last position.
Yeah, Arthur's been so fast all weekend on the stop and still machine, but I tell you what, morning warm-up didn't go so well for him. He only did a couple of laps and he was last in the morning warm-up. Let's hope he can get it together.
Stauffer up the inside of Pearson as they went into turn 1. Has he been able to maintain that lead as they come through Pirelli and down into Honda? He has. So it is bike number 27 that leads. Jones up into second position. Questy trying to go around the outside of the three-time champion Glenn Allerton on the GT Racing MacArthur BMW M1000 as we go through Yamaha Revshart corner and down the daunting hill for the first time, Steve, through MA corner.
Absolutely. Mike Jones is up there too now in that second position with Broc Pearson right behind him. So Max Stauffer must be feeling pretty good at the moment, but I'm sure he's going to know soon that he's going to have Mike Jones for company and Broc Pearson, because Pearson's been on the podium here before.
Cru Halliday has also got off to a good start on board bike number 65. Very important for Cru Halliday because we know he's not the best of starters on multiple occasions this year, and it really has broken his pace throughout the entire race. But he's got off to a good start. He's onto the back of Waters' machine, the 21 bike that is sitting in fourth position at the moment. But look at the pace from Max Stauffer in the early laps on board that Penrite Racing Yamaha YZF R1M.
Yeah, he's been getting stronger and stronger as a rider, has Max Stauffer. The fastest lap on lap 1:18.3. That is super, super quick.
1:18.3 from a standing start at Morgan Park. Well, Max Stauffer's made his intention pretty clear, but I think by the way that Mike Jones has just come through Pirelli corner and swooped down into Honda, right up onto the back of the Penrite machine of Stauffer, that Mike Jones is also pretty keen to get another race win under his belt. Hard to believe that Mike Jones actually the checkered flag twice in first position at the last round at Queensland Raceway. His first race victories since the last round at the Bend Motorsport Park in 2022 when he wrapped up the championship.
Well, the last couple of years here at this circuit, Mike Jones, I feel, without looking at the results, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, has got 4 second places, and he's missed out on the win by millimetres on each one.
That's correct. To Wayne Maxwell in 2022 and to Troy Herfoss in 2023. Wayne Maxwell has retired. Troy Herfoss is racing a bagger in America, so Jones has come in here as the man to beat. And at the moment, he's having to play second fiddle to young Max Stauffer. Broc Pearson and Josh Waters just starting to lose touch with the top two at the moment as we start lap 3.
Yeah.
I think Josh Waters is going to be pretty keen to try and find his way past that Desmo Sport Ducati. A great start too from Cameron Dunker, the young Superbike rookie, the reigning Supersport champion, is off to a great start in 8th position, and he has shown some great pace yesterday, especially Steve, improved his lap times incredibly over the first practice sessions on Friday.
I'll tell you what, Jones has definitely got more turn in and a better line on the way into some of these corners. He can turn in tighter, and he looks like he's not having too much trouble at the moment staying with Stauffer. 1:13.0 last time round, remembering that pole position was a 12.8, so 13.0 for Max Stauffer, the fastest lap out there.
Oh, that's a big crash. That looks like it's a Yamaha that's gone down. I couldn't quite see which one it was.
Is that Arthur's?
No, that is Brian Starring on board the Moto Go Yamaha, and that looks like it is Michelin corner at the bottom of the hill. It's a very banked, fast corner at the end of that long straight down through the twisty parts of the circuit. Yeah, and looks like Brian's airbag has gone off inside his leathers as well.
Massive one there.
Unfortunately, Brian Starring is out, but the good news is that he's up and walking away as Jones closes in onto the back of Stauffer again.
Yep, right there is Jones. Last time through 13.3, 13.0 for Mike Jones. And you can just see there Brian helping to get the stuff off. He's perfectly okay. There's Allerton. We haven't mentioned Allerton yet. Now, he was super quick in the warm-up, but his start, not so good. A lot of work to do for him.
Josh Waters looks like he managed to get the bike very sideways on the way out of turn 6 on that occasion.
Let's have a look here as we head.
That's going up the hill from turn 10. That would have been at the same time that, unfortunately, Brian Starring was somersaulting into the gravel trap at turn 10. Good news is that Brian's up. The Moto Go Yamaha, not so much. So Stauffer leads by 0.1 of a second over Jones. On the last lap, there was 1/100th of a second between their lap times. Exactly 1/100th of a second, a 0.319 to a 0.309. Jones, the faster of the two. The gap back to Broc Pearson is 1.3 seconds, as Pearson just put in a 1:13.2, so 1/10 of a second faster than our top two as we are on lap 7 of this 14-lap journey.
Pearson's holding them at the moment. Like, he lost that gap in the first couple of laps, but now he's managing to hold that gap. If he can work that out for race 2 and not lose that 1 second, he can run with these front guys.
Cru Halliday actually set his fastest lap of the race on the last lap as well at 13.6, but the gap to Glenn Allerton is 0.6 of a second.
Look
there you
at
go.
Jones.
Stauffer starting to slide it
Jones. Watch Jones now. Jones is like right on the back wheel, and he's starting to look for a way past there.
And you know what the ironic thing is, Steve? That is the same corner where Wayne Maxwell and Troy Herfoss both have taken overtaking advantages on Mike Jones over the last couple of years to take the race wins here at Morgan Park. Is Mike Jones going to do it to Max Stauffer in the closing stages of this race? Because at the moment, it looks like he's trying to struggle to find a way past the very rapid man from Curry Curry.
I tell you what, Stauffer's bike's got a lot of power up the hill.
Jones just shadowing the back of the Penrite Racing Yamaha as they come up the hill now through Yamaha Financial Services corner and then through Ducati. The quick change of direction, the drive out of there, very important, especially in about 5 laps time, Steve, as they'll be coming to the start-finish line. Pearson, a great lap from Pearson then. Once again, 0.4 of a second faster than our race leaders. So Pearson is really starting to push on in the latter half of this race. Josh Waters behind him at 13.7. So 0.3 of a second faster or slower than what Pearson was on that last lap.
I reckon Pearson's strength has always been, it hasn't been outright speed, but it's been, he can do whatever lap time it is, he can do it to the end. So you're right, keep an eye on Pearson, especially around here. He can use his size and his height to help keep the bike up, keep it on the fresh part of the tyre.
And one of the things that he said yesterday when we were talking to him was that he has never done an almost race distance run on a Friday. He did.
Jones is through.
Big move there from Jones. And look at Max sliding. Look at them both sliding as they came through Racing Road corner. So Jones has hit the lead on lap 10. Can Max stay with Jones now? As you can tell that Jones is just going to really light the wick and try and pull away from the Penrite Racing Machine bike number 27. But Max is going to hang on. He's going to have white knuckles trying to hang on to the pace that Jones is showing. And Broc Pearson is coming as well. Pearson's been fast on this lap as well, Steve. As they come across the line, we'll check those times.
And I reckon that, Phil, was what made Jones go for it, because he could see that gap behind him starting to close up, and that made him have to go attack. Here we go, let's have another look. He's on the gas, on the inside, little wheelie, gets tucked in behind the screen on the Ducati replay, up the inside Motorcycling Australia corner, got way better drive than Stauffer. Stauffer's sliding early through there, and Jones makes the pass, and he closes it off on the inside too, so there's no chance for Stauffer to go back.
And on that last lap, at 13.3 from Pearson, at 13.6 for Jones, taking the race lead at 13.9 for Max Stauffer.
Yeah.
So Jones is in the lead and he's starting to pull away now, 0.6 of a second as they went through the first intermediate of the Morgan Park circuit. Cameron Dunker closing in onto the back of the 3-time champion Glenn Allerton, who is once again another rider on the second machine after a big crash yesterday on board the GT Racing M1000 RR. And Dunker trying to close in, and just ahead of them on track is Cru Halliday holding down 5th position.
Yeah, Cru Halliday will be so disappointed with that second row start. Hasn't been able to do much with it, really, unfortunately. Sits there, pretty lonely 5th position for him at the moment. Glenn Allerton behind him.
Pearson making a big lunge for second position over Max Stauffer. Max is off the track almost and out onto the concrete ripple strip on the exit of turn 1. So Pearson is showing that great late race pace at 13.5, pretty much matched the lap time of our race leader Mike Jones, and Stauffer back into the 14.0s on that last lap, and Pearson up into second position.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, poor old Max, he had a big off yesterday, so he's on a bike he's not used to, and also you've got to think that his body's pretty beaten up. Let's have another look at that pass on the Ducati replay. Up the inside, he got great drive out of the final turn, and he held his breath, dove up the inside, hit that bump, got away with it. Stauffer wide. He had to, because Pearson took the line that he wanted, and move was made.
Yeah, the Desmo Sport Ducati looking very composed as Broc Pearson asks a lot of questions of the setup there, doing a great job to move up into second position as Jones starts to get into some lap traffic. We're just coming round to complete lap 12 now, so 2 laps to go for our race leader, Mike Jones, as he comes across the line, taking advantage of Michael Kemp, just moving out of the way to let him through. Pearson also up the inside of Kemp. Max Stauffer is going to have to take evasive action in between turns 1 and 2. There he goes, straight up the inside of Kempy. So the South Australian gets a short back and sides from Max Stauffer as they came through turn 2. Stauffer has hasn't lost too much, but closing in on the back of Max Stauffer now is Josh Waters on board bike number 21. Both of them heading off to Suzuka at the end of this race, Steve. They'll both be on the plane tomorrow morning, heading to one of the most prestigious races in the world to race for high-profile teams in the Suzuka 8-hour race.
This would have to be one of Waters' best rides at this circuit. Last year didn't go well for him at all, but he's turning it around here, and he's in the battle for a podium at the moment, caught up to Max. It just depends on what he's going to do. Is he thinking about Suzuka tomorrow, or is he thinking about the points in the championship?
Well, coming down to the bottom end of the circuit, it is Stauffer that is trying to hold off Josh Waters. You can see them there. It wasn't too long ago that Josh Waters was teammates with Max Stauffer's dad, Jamie, but now he's battling with the next generation of Stauffers, who are just as rapid as the original generation as well. Up the inside, there they go on Paul Linkenbach. Oh, had a big moment going through Ducati corner.
He certainly did.
Probably trying to follow the pace of Stauffer and Waters.
There goes Waters.
Up the inside, can he get the job done? No, Max is too late on the brakes. This is the final lap, Steve. Jones has got a 1.9 second lead over Broc Pearson, who has got a 1.8 second lead over this battle. Max Stauffer desperately trying to keep his run of podium runs going. This will be his 4th race in a row on the podium. If he can hold off Josh Waters over the final, well, 2 kilometres that is left in this race.
Yeah, good drive out of there for Max. That's good. And that hungry Josh Waters right on the back wheel now. The number 37 rider, Michael Edwards, moves over for these two guys, and there's not many corners left for Waters to make a move now.
It's going to have to be a big run from Yamaha Rebsahart corner down through the back end of the circuit. Those dauntingly fast corners where we saw Mike Jones take the race lead off Max Stauffer only a few laps ago. You can see Stauffer there sliding once again through race and road. He goes down to the bottom end of the hill. It's going to have to be a last-minute lunge for Waters now as he gets good drive out of the chicane, because Stauffer is going to lead them up the hill as Mike Jones sets sail for the finish line. He's through Ducati corner and over the crest of the hill to take another race win. It's 3 in a row for Mike Jones on board bike number 46. Broc Pearson on the podium on board bike number 11 after starting from pole position, and Max Stauffer just manages to hold off Josh Waters in the dying stages of that race. And Cameron Dunker has got up to 5th position. What a late race charge from the reigning Supersport champion on board bike number 3 to take 5th position ahead of Cru Halliday in 6th, Allerton in 7th, Ant West in 8th, Arthur Cece's in 9th, and Ty Lynch, a great result for the other South Australian, who is on track to take 10th position in his rookie year on board a Superbike, on board bike number 85.
Yeah, great result for Ty Lynch there. But what about Mike Jones? He had that in hand, didn't he? He just waited until Max started to have troubles, and then he waited until the Ducati Desmo Sport rider Broc Pearson caught up to him, and he went for it. He put that pin down and bang, won the race. Broc Pearson in 2nd, Stauffer on 3rd.
Yeah, Josh Waters in 4th, Cameron Dunker in 5th, Halliday in 6th, Allerton 7th, West in 8th, Arthur Cece's in 9th, and Ty Lynch rounds out your top 10. Down to the podium now with Chris Vermeulen and our top 3.
Yes, thank you very much. Here we are. What a race 1 Superbike race we had there. It was action-packed. The man that led early on, Max Stauffer, 3rd place in the end. I know you saw from the crash yesterday. How are you physically?
Yeah, I am hurting a bit, but look, to be a bit sore around the most physical track on the calendar, it's not easy. But I'm on the podium. I had to work so hard. But yeah, look, the boys rode great in front of me, and great job to them. But I'll recover for race 2 and come out swinging.
So is you physically, not really the bike, or are you going to make some changes for the bike to go to race 2?
No, I'm not going to make any changes to the bike. The bike was good. I led for probably the first half, even longer, and I was doing consistent laps. It's just that after when I was hurt, and I couldn't maintain the same intensity. So I just need to recover and get after it.
Good luck, mate. Go and rest.
Thank you.
There you go, 3rd place man, Max Stauffer. We'll get our 2nd place rider, the tall Broc Pearson. Broc, starting from pole position, I've got to say, early on, the early part of that race, it didn't look fantastic. It looks like you might have been struggling a little bit, but your pace at the end was really strong.
Yeah, I got a good start, and then I don't know if it was lap 1 or 2, but I almost lost the rear out of 3, and then obviously lost the lead. And it rattled me a little bit because that was sort of my plan out the window. And I think maybe nerves, mix of things. It just sort of took me a few laps to get going. But anyways, I felt like I settled in mid-race and started working with the bike rather than trying to fight against it like I was at the start. And come through for 2nd. That's a nice result for the boys. And I think that's 2nd time getting 2nd this year. So we'll see. Jonesy's very fast, but we'll give it a crack this afternoon and see if we can beat him.
Yeah, obviously a lot more confidence now. Another race. You know the conditions. You reckon you got a win in you?
Yeah, why not? I reckon if I get a good start and don't let him go, then he's not going anywhere. But I let him go. So, yeah, can't let Jonesy go. He just settles into a rhythm and it's hard to claw it back. So, yeah, one more to go this afternoon. Really excited.
Well, congratulations, mate, and good luck for the next one.
Thank you.
There you go. It's our second place man. And the winner from race 1, Mike Jones. I mean, they put you back against the wall. You didn't qualify on the pole position like you wanted, like a lot of people expected, but you got through. You led that race. You led it at the important time at the finish line.
Yeah, look, honestly, the qualifying, I rolled up for the start of the race. I was rolling up to the pole position thinking that I was starting to cross over halfway and go over to third. But, yeah, look, that was a really good race. You know, really enjoyable because, you know, Max got away really well there and I followed him and he was setting a really good pace. I felt like he was, you know, really into it. So, but, you know, this race, well, as with a lot of races, but, you know, especially here, that once you've done 10 laps, like everyone can sort of do 10 laps, not too bad. Then it gets really hard after that. So, like I said, we had a reduced race from 16 down to 14. So those last 4-5 laps were pretty tough. But, yeah, ultimately stoked with the win and very, very happy.
And you're obviously happy with the bike, but it's only 2 laps longer for race 2. But are you going to make any changes for that?
I don't think so because, you know, our bike, honestly, we're basically exactly where we were last year. Yeah. So the difference for us for this first race was just that the track condition was probably a little bit cooler and I don't think it was ideal. Hopefully this afternoon the temp will come up just a little bit and then we'll be really in the sweet spot.
It's all down to the wind, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, who knows what we'll get, but fingers crossed the conditions are good.
Well, congratulations on the win and good luck for race 2.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
There you go, our podium men from race 1 for the Alpine Stars Australian Superbike race. Okay, I'm here with Cru Halliday's bike from the Yamaha racing team, and I just wanted to show you guys basically the rider's cockpit, if you like, the business end of what goes on. So this is Cru's race bike. It's what he races all year and has won races in the Australian Championship this year. Come and have a look over here, guys. So basically, we're sort of a standard handlebar setting. This is going to be a rider preference thing, how they angle the clip-on handlebars. So you've got a throttle, brake. We can see some upgraded brake components here. Obviously, Brembo caliper gives him better feel and consistency over a race. But normal Yamaha switch block, run and start, you'll find that the mechanics play with a lot of that stuff. We've got some adjustments here for menu. Again, on this side, there's some adjustments, and the rider will play with the traction control during the setting where he can play with this. I guess this thing is a little bit different to a street bike, and that's the front brake adjuster. So as you're racing, the front brake does vary, and the rider will play with this a bit, maybe even up to a couple of times a lap. Getting down to the dash, a little bit different to a road bike in that we've got a lap time here. That time actually, it triggers off when he crosses the finish line, start-finish line, and it will stay stationary for a number of seconds, and then it will start counting during the lap. So Cru will be able to see what lap time he's doing halfway around the lap. And when you're racing like this, you do sort of see every 1/10 of a second or half a second tick over. So it'll have gear position, RPM, tacho. Underneath this tape is some stuff they wanted to keep secret. Now that's sort of his traction control settings, his engine brake settings. So there's a lot of things they can do with these, being quite a standard bike, but they are sort of race specific and very high performance.
Well, welcome back to Morgan Park for round 4 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships presented by Motul, the midway point of the season. A man, as we come into here, that is on a run of podium positions is Max Stauffer, and he caught up with Chris Vermeulen.
We're here with Max Stauffer. I was going to say rookie sensation, but not quite a rookie, but you're the young guy really breaking ground this year. How is the championship going for you, 2024 so far?
2024 so far has probably been, it's been a little bit up and down. The highs have been really good, but I've had tough moments. So it's just about, you know, I've really got to work on my weaknesses and make them stronger. But for now, yeah, everything's going all right, and I'm just going to keep working away at it.
From the outside, it looks like a new team, like new sponsor coming in, you know, everything's lifted a level. You guys have as teammates and riders and challenging for the championship, but a lot of familiar faces in here. The team working well, is it grown, or are you happy with the way things are?
Yeah, everyone's got a great sort of chemistry. It's good to have so much experience in the shed, and for people like me and Cam, it's good to, you know, 2 young blokes to have so many, you know, faces that have been around for a long time to help us get going around fast. So everything's going good, and yeah, just loving life at the moment.
Well, that's always good to see. Goals for the rest of the year, Max? What are we going to see? Race wins, challenge for race wins, pole positions?
Yeah, look, it's hard to put an expectation on things, isn't it? But, you know, obviously I'd like to win a race. It's, you know, that's why I turn up. But for now, I just need to keep working on what I've been working on and just keep trying to get it all better. So I think, you know, if we keep working in a good direction, we'll be all right.
There's a very famous race in the motorcycling world, the Suzuka 8-hour. We know you got called up to it recently. You've been over there testing. The race is next week. What's the experience been like so far, and what are you taking from that?
Oh, it's such a cool track, such a cool, you know, event to be a part of. Just, yeah, to get over to do the test and learn the track, it was really cool. So I haven't really thought about the race too much. I've more been thinking about this weekend a little bit more. But, you know, I'm just excited to be a part of the, you know, an event that's that sort of prestigious and means so much to all the people over there. So I'm really excited to get in and, you know, give it my best shot. I've never done anything like it, but it's going to be a lot different. And yeah, I feel good.
Well, it's great to see what you've done so far. Good luck for the future.
Thank you.
So Max Stauffer, certainly a rider coming in here on form. He will start on the front row of the grid, but Broc Pearson starts from pole position, and Mike Jones on the outside of the front row of the grid will join him there. Josh Waters, Cru Halliday and Glenn Allerton on row 2.
Arthur Cece's hoping for a better start this time out. Anthony West, we heard from him on the grid, and Brian Starring not taking part in this one. Cam Dunker, he had a good ride through the field. Johnny Littress was right up there until he had a DNF. Ty Lynch, good results from him too.
Ryan Yanko, Paris Hardwick and Josh Sutherland on row 5. Of course, Paris Hardwick's first outing this weekend on board the MotoGo Yamaha. Michael Edwards, Michael Kemp and Paul Linkenbar back there on row 6. And looking down onto the grid now to see the riders coming around to take up their positions. We're ready to go racing for 16 laps. Of course, race 1 was held over 14 laps. 16 laps is probably going to favour a rider like Mike Jones, who knows he's got the setup to last the full race distance. Pretty sure everyone now with the cooler track temperature, Steve, is probably going to be opting for that harder tyre. So race distance shouldn't be a problem for any of the riders out there.
Keep an eye on number 11. He could be quick this time out too.
Well, he got a great start in race number 1. Will he do the same in race number 2 as we get ready to go racing? Sam Phillips and his red flag leave the front of the grid. We're ready to go. Superbikes go for the final time here at Morgan Park. That is a great start from Broc Pearson. In fact, everyone on the front row's got a great start. Stauffer tries to go up the inside. Waters slips into 4th position. Allerton tries to get up the inside of him. Where is Arthur CC, Steve? He's not running in there in last position, so it's a much better start for Arthur in this one.
Cru Halliday up there in 6th position, so not too bad. He held his own. There's Arthur. Arthur got a decent start in behind Glenn Allen.
Johnny Lynch is also in the pack there, battling with Ty Lynch early on this first lap. So Ty Lynch, a Superbike rookie after many, many years. In fact, this is his 15th start at Morgan Park across all classes. So been around for many, many years, has the South Australian on board, bike number 85.
Cam Dunker's made his way forward too. He's up to 8th position at the moment. Look how tight they are at the moment.
Waters and Mike Jones were certainly having a great battle there as they came down in towards turn 7. And Allerton,
Stauffer's gone through. What a move.
What a move from Max Stauffer early on this race. Glenn Allerton up the inside of Waters at Michelin's corner, turn 10. Well, Allerton has got a full head of steam coming into this one. Red mist visor well and truly engaged for the 43-year-old from Western Sydney.
Allerton's hot or not at the moment. Looks like he's hot today.
Arthur Cece right behind Josh Waters as well too. So bike number 61, the only stop and seal entry in the field in the Superbike category, off to a great start and doing a good job, as Jones looking a little bit untidy, which is very un-Mike Jones on the way out of turn 2.
Well, Broc's managed to hang in there, hasn't he? So Max Stauffer's got that lead now. Broc Pearson is, he had a bit of a moment on the 2nd or 3rd lap, which made him lose his position, but he doesn't seem to be having that problem at the moment. Tyres have warmed up nicely, and I think he's got his confidence. If he can get through this next 1 or 2 laps in this position, he'll probably be able to hold that position.
Dunk having a great battle with Ant West as well, but you can see that smooth Mike Jones is trying to find his way past aggressive Broc Pearson at the moment. You see Pearson's got the elbows out, and it's looking like it's pretty hard work for Jones to try and find his way past. Of course, the Desmo Sport Ducati just jumps off turn 7 and rockets down the hill as Westy gets the better of Cameron Dunker.
Ryan Yanko was actually looking pretty good there too, driving out of that turn 7. Pretty competitive ride for him this
Well,
weekend.
Ryan Yanko is a Morgan Park specialist, done a lot of laps around here. Has the Queenslander as they crest the hill to complete lap 2. The first of our flying laps, a 13.310 for Max Stauffer. In fact, everybody in the top 8, Steve, all in the 13s on that first flying lap.
Look at Stauffer, though. He's got a decent little lead at the moment. Mike Jones tipping in to that turn 3, the Alpine Stars bend there. Nice and tight. Looks up the inside, goes for a move, and makes it.
Yeah, it was very, very late, that move, wasn't it, from Jones? He was just creeping in, eventually managed to get the better of Pearson. But look how much he's managed to pull out just on the run, out of Motul Corner, through Pirelli and down to Honda.
But look at the attitude of his bike whenever he makes a move. It doesn't get out of shape. It's literally, he goes up the inside, he just makes it.
And that was why it was so unusual when Mike Jones was a bit out of shape coming out of turn 2 early on, because that's, as I said, Mike Jones.
Here we go, another look on the Ducati replay of that move that Stauffer made. That was incredible. I believe that he had a crash there in the test a couple of weeks ago. So
and then this manoeuvre from Allerton at the end of the Ducati replay there, just showing how full of aggression the 3-time champion is. But look at that from Mike Jones. That is that's classic Mike Jones.
I mean, it's not that easy to overtake someone of the calibre of Broc Pearson. The pole setup here at the track is easy as that, but he made it look easy. But back at the front, nice little gap now for Maxi Stauffer on that Penrite Yamaha.
As he comes across the line to complete that lap, his fastest lap of the race for Max, a 1:13.2, but the fastest lap of the race on lap 4, a 1:13.129 for our race second place man, and that is Mike Jones, the race 1 winner, looking to make it a very special 21st birthday present, or his 21st victory in the Australian Superbike Championship if he can take victory in this race for Mike Jones.
Oh, Allerton's off. Motul Corner's taken another scalp. What a weekend for Allerton. It promised so much, but unfortunately for him, it just wasn't to be. He was looking pretty competitive out there at the moment. Hopefully he can get the bike going. Let's have another look on the Ducati replay. Down the hill he goes. He knows he's under pressure from Josh Waters behind, tips it in, holds that front brake too late into the corner, and the front folds and is a small off, but he is off. So unfortunately, you can just see there how disconsolate he is.
As Cru Halliday desperately trying to get bike number 65 further forward in this race. But first thing he's got to do, apart from shaking off the attention of Ant West right behind him, is close that gap to Arthur CC's, which is currently sitting at about half a second right in front of him. You can see Jonesy there. Looks like he's just sizing up for something. Maybe not on this lap, Steve, but I think the move is going to be coming from Jones very, very soon.
I reckon this is the closest that Arthur Cece's has ever been to the front of a race. Like, this is pretty impressive.
Well, getting towards mid-race distance as well. We're on lap 6, completed laps. We're on lap 7 now. Be coming across to start the 8th lap. Of course, 8 laps is halfway point in this race as they crest the rise and come back onto the start-finish area. It is Max Stauffer leading by 1/10 of a second on that last lap. Jones, once again, 2/10 of a second faster than our race leader. And look who's right there as well. It is the booming Desmo Sport Ducati of Broc Pearson. The real estate agent from the Gold Coast is closing in. He'd like to put up a for sale sign at Morgan Park this weekend because he's certainly claiming it as his own territory.
Well, he's right there now, isn't he? He's right there. He quickest man on the last lap. He did 13.2 compared to 13.6 for Max. Now,
if I remember correctly, it was this same venue where Broc Pearson had his first ever ride for the Desmo Sport Ducati team as Brian Starry teammate.
He got fourth.
And put in a pretty good ride that weekend. So a good performance at Morgan Park is nothing of a surprise for Broc Pearson.
Well, you've got to imagine now that he's caught these guys up, he's thinking of going better, one better. He wants that win.
In fact, on the last lap, Steve, Broc Pearson was the fastest rider on track with a 1:13.244, only fractionally faster than Arthur Cece's, who just put in his fastest lap of a 13.295. Oh, bit of a moment there for Pearson tipping into the Ducati chicane. Just looked like he had to have a second bite at the entry to that corner, and it's cost him a fraction of a second. 13.7 on that lap, but in fact Jones was back to a 13.8 because he's clawed up onto the back of Max Stauffer now, and Stauffer was back to a 13.7.
Tell you what, Arthur Cece's is coming too, isn't he? He's actually looking pretty good out there at the moment.
He's closing in on the back of Josh Waters.
I hope Max likes pressure because there's certainly a lot on him at the moment. And look at the back of Desmo Sport Ducati. There you go. He's made the move now.
Jones made that look so easy.
He did.
Just got great drive out of Motor Corner, just went straight up the inside of Max as he changed direction for the run down through Pirelli Corner, and he's now taken the lead. The big question is, can Max hold on to the back of the Yamaha racing team R1, or is Broc Pearson?
Yeah, Broc Pearson's just gone past him, I reckon. It was very, very close. Pearson had way better drive out of the corner.
You reckon Pearson's going to make a big lunge at turn 10? No, he can't quite get through there. Max has got too much corner entry speed for Pearson to get up the inside.
I think it's drive out of the corners where he's struggling. You can just see there, like, again, Mike Jones has gone through on the Ducati replay like it was easy. Do you know what I mean? He's just making it look easy.
That's typical Mike Jones, though. He makes everything look easy as Pearson repeats race number 1 and puts an overtaking manoeuvre on Max Stauffer right on the entry into turn 1.
It's a mentally tough moment in the race now for Broc Pearson, because he possibly could, as we go up the inside, Cece's looks her way through, can't do it, but Pearson could basically give up and accept that position, or if he keeps on putting in hard, there's still the opportunity for the win.
Lap traffic starting to come into the equation now too, Steve. So Pearson, who was only 1/10 of a second slower on that last lap, looks like that rider has slowed down. I think that's Michael Kemp doing a great job there to just make sure that he's not involved in compromising any of the other faster riders that are coming past him at the moment. As Max Stauffer still sliding the bike through Motorcycling Australia and into Race and Road Corner.
Yeah, it looks like
even late in the race, there's Paul Linkenbar on board bike number 60.
Cesis has hit a little bit of a brick wall there, struggling to get past Maxi Stauffer.
Oh, Pearson is not far behind as we come across the line to start lap 14.
No, he's right there.
Could this be Broc Pearson's first ever win in the Australian Superbike Championship? He is closing in on our race leader on the last lap. Steve, he was 2/10 of a second faster than Mike Jones. Jones will be able to hear that Ducati now starting to close in from behind. It is not the quietest motorcycle out there on track, and the drone of the Yamaha will certainly be replaced by the basonic beat of the Ducati catching up from behind, as we have Arthur Cece's now getting the... Oh, no, everyone's getting the better of Max Stauffer, who's now dropped back to a 6th position. Even his teammate Cameron Dunker is ahead.
Yeah, he's definitely injured, isn't he? So Cece's has moved himself up into 4th. That's got to be a best result for him. But look at Dunker. Dunker's come from nowhere. Now he's on the back of Cece's as well.
Well, we heard from Wayne Maxwell in race number 1 that maybe the changes they could make and also getting off to a good start means that Cameron Dunker's late race pace would be able to be on exhibition in race number 2, and that's exactly the case. We're on lap 14, only a couple of laps to go. An update from you, Chris.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to talk about Cam Dunker as we get there. His main crew chief, or his normal crew chief, Glenn Richards, is not here this weekend. He's over in England. So Heath Griffin has sort of taken the reins. And Cam, as you know, he has a standard engine. He doesn't have the works engine as much as the other Yamahas out there. And I've got to say, him and Broc Pearson also use a tyre that takes a little bit longer to come in, but it's a bit more durable at the end of the race. So both of those guys, look out for Broc Pearson. But Cam Dunker, he's been really impressive for me this weekend.
Well, look out for Broc Pearson. He's just taken the race lead over Mike Jones with a daring move at turn 1. Let's have a look on the Ducati replay as he pulls out of the slipstream of Jones as they went across the start-finish line, Steve. And Jones was looking smooth, but Pearson is full of aggression, the bike moving around all over the place. As he was tipping into the corner, the back wheel was off the ground as he made his way towards the apex, and he now is going to have to put up with the incredible amount of pressure from Mike Jones. Well, the maestro of Morgan Park over the last couple of years is going to have to put up a massive fight here because the Desmo Sport Ducati rider is desperate to take his first ever win.
The hunger is there. He's answered my question. I asked whether he was hungry enough, and I'd say he hasn't eaten for a while.
Well, he hasn't eaten for a while, and he's about to have a feast if he can take the win in this one as he comes across to get the last lap board. Lap 15 is complete.
And
last lap board is out. Jones knows he's got 2.9 kilometres to try and put a manoeuvre on. Where does he try, Steve?
Well,
does he try and do it early in the lap, or does he wait till later?
He's going to try. He's like so close right here. He's going to try down into the... He's going to try everywhere. He's going to try in the modal. He doesn't want to leave it until the last sweeper. He doesn't want to leave it until Dunlop or Michelin because that's going to make it too hard. He'll already have an idea where he's strong. Oh, there you go. There's where it's going to happen.
A repeat of the move that he
it's not
put
over
onto.
yet. It's not over yet.
Pearson hanging brave on the outside. Jones on the inside means he's going to have a narrow entry into the corner and maybe possibly drive compromised on the way out. Pearson's bike starting to move around. Even Jones was starting to move around a bit there.
Now it's, Phil, it's going to come down to who is the absolute bravest. We know that Jones hasn't got a great record at this part of the track, but he's going around the outside. He's gone up the inside. It's going to be in a Michelin corner if he's going to do it. Hold the brake on, but he's too far back. Jones has closed the line down.
Well, Pearson was all out of shape in every one of those corners trying to get the drive. He comes up through Ducati now. He's got to get the drive out of here. He's got to try and slipstream Jones to the line. It's only a short run. I don't know if he can do it, Steve. They crest the hill. Pearson is on the back wheel, and he goes across the line. I don't know who's got that. It is so close. It is so close.
My, that is so close. 0.44. Let's wait and see. But at the moment, it looks like it was Mike Jones, but that needs some sort of confirmation.
As they came out of the final corner, I thought that Jones had it in the bag, and then all of a sudden, Broc Pearson had pulled up next to him, but he was on the back wheel. The timing monitor is showing now that the result is going to Jones by 0.044 of a second, with Josh Waters taking the podium in third position, 3.2 seconds behind our race leader, as those two congratulate each other after an unbelievable race. Josh Waters gives Mike Jones congratulations on another race victory. So it is 4 from 4 in the last 4 races for Mike Jones. Arthur CC's will take 4th, a great result for Arthur in only his second round on board the Stop and Seal Yamaha R1. Cameron Dunker up to 5th. That would probably be his best ever result too. And in the end, Dunker was only 0.04 of a second behind Arthur CC's. But Mike Jones has been confirmed as your race winner, 0.044 of a second behind Broc Pearson. Then it was Josh Waters in 3rd, Arthur CC's in 4th, Dunker 5th, Halliday 6th, Stauffer slipped back to 7th after a brave ride leading the race early on. Ant West in 8th, Johnny Lucius in 9th, Ty Lynch rounds out your top 10 with Ryan Yanko in 11th, Paris Hardwick in 12th, Josh Soderland in 13th. Glenn Allerton managed to get back on his bike and finish in 14th position, with Michael Edwards, Paul Linkenbar and Michael Kemp 1 lap behind after being lapped in the later stages of that race. And our top 3, Jones, Broc Pearson and Josh Waters, are making their way down to the podium now. What a race to finish off the weekend. You can see the smile underneath Mike Jones's helmet there. He's very happy with that one. Probably would have loved to have taken a very easy victory, but really had to fight for that one, which will make that champagne taste so much sweeter at the end of the day. Broc Pearson arrives back, gets the congratulations of the team. They know that he put everything into that one. Championship points are going to be very interesting coming out of this one. And you can see there the great camaraderie between those two. Perfect time to head down to the podium with Chris.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. What a race, too, for us. The Alpine Stars Australian Superbike Championship race here at Morgan Park. Josh Waters, great to see you back on the podium. Championship leader. You must be happy with that one.
Yeah, I'm happy with my result at this circuit because I really dislike coming here. It's a unique little circuit. A trillion laps would help, but I live 20 hours away from here. Yeah. So anyway, my team did an amazing job. Our sponsors, the Pirelli tyres were awesome. So I've got a few things on my mind. I'm on a plane tomorrow. I'm not going to lie, I shouldn't have thought of that, but I've been thinking I'm going to Phillip Island next. I like Phillip Island, so yeah, again, congrats to everyone and huge thanks to my team.
Yeah, we know all that's going on, and I wish you all the best for Suzuka 8 Hour, but congratulations on today.
Yeah, no, thanks heaps.
There you go, 3rd place man, Josh Waters. I'll get the 2nd place man, Broc Pearson. He was our pole man as well, we've got to remember, and really, really close to his first ever Australian Superbike race win. Broc, what a race, man. You made it exciting those last few laps. At the start, I thought, what's going on? You were out of the seat a little bit more than usual, but by the end, you're really strong.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that race. I think that's the best I've ever rode. Yeah, look, Mike was the guy to beat around here, but about 5 laps to go, I thought, maybe I got him. Anyways, I got myself to the lead, and I thought I had it, and I had a couple big moments, and on the last lap, I just lost a bit of drive out of 4, and it was enough for him to get me, but anyways, it was close, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, you're learning a lot, you're improving all the time, and that's the main thing. So looking forward to Phillip Island?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I feel like this weekend's been a big step with my riding, and I think I'm maturing a little bit just as a rider and as a human, I guess. But back to work tomorrow, and just hope everyone enjoyed it.
Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go, that's our second place man, Broc Pearson. Double race winner, Mike Jones. You are the man of this place at the moment anyway, but they didn't make it easy for you, did they?
No, it wasn't easy at all. To be honest, that was a really awesome race again. Yeah. You know, Maxie got away at the start there, and I sort of got baited into chasing him down, but I shouldn't have, because I knew that you can't sort of run that pace all the way to the end, and he did fade a bit. But look, Broc was strong in that first race, so I knew it was going to be like we were a couple extra laps this time around. So it was a really tough race right at the end there. Broc was very strong. To be honest, we were both just out of tyre, and I just happened to get a bit better run on him and was able to hang on to the end. So, but really, really stoked to get the 2 wins. Super critical for the championship. There's a bike between me and Waters again in that race, so we've clawed back a few points, so really stoked on that.
Congratulations again.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
There you go. That's our race winner, Mike Jones, for race 2. Both races here at Morgan Park.
Yeah, congratulations to Mike Jones and the Yamaha Racing team. Well, he is the maestro of Morgan Park once again, and that boosts his championship challenge. 179.5 points for Josh Waters, currently in the lead. 162.5 for Mike Jones, now up into a good second position ahead of his teammate Cru Halliday on 145. Broc Pearson has surged his way up into 4th place on 139.5. Max Stauffer in 5th on 130 after a brave 2 rides today. Cameron Dunk has moved up to 6th on 115.5. Then it's Ant West in 7th. CC's in 8th. Allerton has slipped back to 9th position. And Troy Herfoss, despite not being here this weekend, still holds down 10th position. Harry Voigt, hopefully we'll see him back later on in the year as well. Brian Starring, after not competing in race number 2, is in 12th. 13th in Litteris, and Josh Sutherland rounds out the top 14. But yes, very interesting championship we have poised now, heading into the next round at Phillip Island. Plenty more to come in 2024. The Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit is the next round, a 2-day meeting on the 7th to the 8th of September, and we look forward to that. Of course, the next round of the ProMX Championship is at Toowoomba in Queensland, just down the road, the 21st of July, so not too long to wait for that one, and plenty more action coming up in the ProMX Championship as well. Massive thank you this weekend to Steve Martin and Chris Vermeulen, all the team that put this package together, of course, Motorcycling Australia and the local Southern Downs Council for all of their support this weekend. We'll catch you at the next round at Phillip Island.